Hello, Amelia. This is my response to your corrections. You're looking good. And then down here, when I get down to 17, 18, 23, there's just a couple of things that I just wanted to make sure were clear for you. You will still be getting credit for your corrections, but I want to make sure something makes sense to you. So I see what you did. You got 8 over 14, which that's great, but then you had to reduce it, and it sounds like you understand that you had to reduce it, and then also you had to make sure that that it was negative. And I just want to show you in Desmos how you can also reduce your fraction, because you said you turned it into a decimal, which is okay, but in some situations it might not be acceptable, like if there are no decimals. I guess you could find which one matches, but let's just show you on the Desmos calculator. If you had, clear this out, if you had your negative 8 over 14, and then you've got your decimal. Now come right over here, see this little button, click, and now you have a reduced fraction. Yahoo! So that happens, that works, that's something you can do. Then here, let's take a look at this last problem. So if you have a problem like this where you're evaluating a function, what I want you to do is, instead of insert the numbers, just use sliders, okay? So and I think this isn't the total problem, but I will just show you in Desmos. If you have a problem and it has, let me just pause here for a second. Okay, here we go. So if you type in the entire thing just with the variables that they give you, and then it will ask you if you want to use sliders, and you're like, yes, I want to use sliders. So you click sliders, and then you come down here and you use the values that they gave you. So for B, notice they're a little out of order, so you have to really pay attention to what you're typing in. Like normally A would be the first thing, right? But since B was first written in the expression, that's why the B came first. It doesn't matter. You just need to make sure you're matching them up appropriately. Okay, so now I typed these in, and Desmos is smart enough to realize that when we square this negative number, that's going to become a positive 25. That's one of the biggest mistakes that students make, is if I type in here just -5, it's going to give me -25, which is not the correct square. So for expressions, I would utilize the sliders on Desmos and think that will give you your correct answer. I hope this makes sense. You can ask me more questions if you need to. Oh, also, when I was typing this in, I wanted to just type the whole top part in first, right? So I was here and I started typing in -7a. Right? And then I'm like, well, how do I get my fraction bar? How do I get a fraction bar? And there might be a way to do that on the keyboard, but I will tell you what I did is I went back to just having one thing there and used the slash button. There's like the question mark and then there's a slash under it. So I used that button and it gave me my fraction bar. So I typed in the 6a, then I went back up to the rest. Oh, I'm sorry, that should be C. Another thing to avoid making a mistake on. And then I could come back up here and type the rest of the expression. Okay, and bada boom, bada bing. Hope that's helpful.